Time for our third and final junior road tax heat. It's Groups A versus B. Here is your starting grid. Alberto Kiko Fracassi and Kasper Schomans will be on the front row for this one. Behind them on row 2, Matej Radenkovic and Mitchell van Dijk. Boluet and Nico van der Pavet will be on row number 3, ahead of Tom Stöller and Ruben Verheyen. Christopher El Fagali and Germany's Marlon Bisalvo will start on the 5th row, thereby completing the top 10. Thomas Behrmann and Archie Buttle will be on row number 6. Batuan Kumas and Boaz Maximov, row 7. Krik Knorren, and then we also have Mads Larsen rounding out row 8. August Reber, Thijs van Wijk, Joshua Graham and Timothy Vladimirov will round out the top 20. Representing Australia, James Anagnostiidis will be joined by Sebastian Koch. Then Danny Shields and Zain El Homassani will make it an all-Emirati row number 12. Julian Kovacevic, Ollie Wise, Kiran Bartenstein, Jod Kasper Joipera, Glenn Schwillens, Sinja Ornball, Jake Menton, Vitti Väinänen, Josephine Wunderhoff, Kalis Kirikovs, Bruno Perre and Hans Markus Narusk will be rounding out the 36-strong grid. And a drama already. It is the 256 that won't be taking any part in this race. And that is, unfortunately, for Ollie Wise. So down to 35 drivers. It's always a big thank you to Team MKG here at Karting Genk. Their work is expedient as always. And a real shame for Ollie Wise having to sit by the sidelines and watch the other drivers go around the circuit as they now get into formation. Red lights on the starting gantry for their third and final heat today. Top 30 will go through to the pre-final and the final tomorrow, and the others will have to battle it out for the rest of the 6 spots available. Into the tram lines, revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? The final junior road tax heat of the day gets going, and it's a good start by the pole sitter Fracassi. Schauman's trying to keep it pinned around the outside, and there has been a massive incident, and it's caught multiple carts out. And the slightest touch going into turns 1 and 2, and it can cause major problems. 218 is involved. That's Josephine Wunderhoff, the second heat in a row for the Dane, and she walks away in sheer disappointment from the cart. My goodness, straight away 2 eliminated on the spot. And there is also somebody else who's actually pointing towards the, pointing towards turn number 2 as well. Couldn't really pick out who the driver is. But 6 1/4 minutes still to go. Schauman's now leads the way. Fracassi down in 4th position. Changes are afoot and they are happening rapidly. 3rd place, Mika van der Pavert. 2nd, it is Radenkovic. It's all for themselves here today. And there is more toing and froing. There is more, and there is gesticulation from a Dams Racing driver. That is more than, well, I did spot, was it the 224 of Boluet? And we've had more dramas coming out of turn 4. Oh, and someone is pointing the wrong way. There's someone else backwards. It has all gone horribly wrong in this race. I won't be at all surprised if that is 2 laps in, and there is one driver who is still sitting the cart. Marshall on the scene very quickly. We have a yellow flag at Marshall post 2. Thomas Behrmann, August Raber, Timothy Vladimirov, Josephine Wunderhoff. So Thomas Behrmann, I think, was the driver pointing towards turn 2 the wrong way. So on to lap number 3. And it is still there's still a lot of battling. Schauman's has got the lead, and a long way back in 4th is the battle for 4th position, and that has got Fracassi. We've got Ruben Verheyen, Thijs van Wijk. You've got Danny Shields involved in that. So Behrman out, Raber out, Vladimirov, Wunderov, Wise, and also on ball. And that it is just chaotic in this third and final junior Rotax heat. So they've got to really just get through this race and keep their position as high as possible. And now Fracassi has lost out to Mitchell van Dijk. Joypere is the last driver, according to the live timing, that's there. Radenkovic now goes for the lead on Shormans. Van der Pavert also trying to get through, but Shorman shuts the door, going out of turn 2 into turn number 3. Fracassi still, by a real miracle, is holding on to that 4th place. Boris Maximov now finds himself in 11th position, and Maximov started 14th. Al-Fagali's in 18th position, and he started in 9th. So when everything kicked off, the apple cart was upset, and there were drivers really, really out of position. And when you have 7 minutes plus an additional lap to get yourself as best a finish as possible, you don't want any drama happening in the final heat of the day. And that's exactly what we've had happen in 2 laps. The first 2 laps of the race were completely chaotic. Now it's a battle royale between the top 3. Van der Pavert's got through on Radenkovic for the race lead through turn number 2. Fracassi is still holding on for that 4th place. The Italian is doing an absolutely brilliant job of just staying and hitting his marks. That's what Fracassi needs to do. And Loet is trying to go toe-to-toe. It's sidewall to sidewall between him and Thijs van Wijk. Danny Shields has done a great job. He started, folks, 23rd. He is now 7th. That just goes to show that if you have a really bad qualifying and it comes to the final heat of the day and everything, as I said, transpires in front of you and multiple drivers are eliminated on the spot, you have such a great opportunity to make the level best of it. Archie Buttle not too far behind Ruben Verheyen, but Mika van der Pavert is now leading the race, and he's pulled a little bit of a gap ahead of Matej Radenkovic to the tune of just over 3.5 tenths of a second. Kasper Schormans in 3rd position behind the Belgian in the 296 as they filter their way through turns 3, 4 and 5. Fracassi still, it's the Fracassi train, folks. Forget Jarno Trulli as Boluet now sends it up the inside of the 270 of Mitchell van Dijk, who runs wide left rear wheel on the grass for the 270 and could lose out a few more positions. And there is Danny Shields. Danny Shields manages to get through on Boluet as he was battling away with the 270 of Mitchell van Dijk. Great job by him. And then also Archie Buttle is very much getting involved with the likes of Ruben Verheyen, and someone sends it up the inside. That was Tom Seller through on the pair of them through turn 10. The Latvian definitely getting very aggressive. Boris Maximov now up the inside of possibly Thijs van Wijk. That could be that the 230 now is in 7th place. So Danny Shields is in 6th because Boluet has retaken that 5th position off of him. Less than 60 seconds to go. This has been the most chaotic race in Junior Rotax I have seen for a very, very long time. Positions changing up and down the order, and the 245 of Ruben Verheyen has just lost out to Kieran Bartelstein through turn number 6. Radenkovic now retakes the race lead with just over 30 seconds on the clock. Schormans now back up into 2nd position. We'll get 2 more laps after this one. So 11 seconds on the timer. We go on to the penultimate lap, lap number 8 out of 9. There are still battles up and down the order. Archie Buttle drops to 15th behind Joshua Graham and Marlon Di Salvo. But Radenkovic, Schormans and Van der Pavert have all at one point or another led this race. Timer has expired. Got 2 more races to conclude today. And, oh, it's getting a bit fruity, to be honest with you, between El Fagali, Anagnostiitis, and I think Zain El Homosani is not too far either. And instead of rocking the traditional KR Sport colours that we've seen Zain and Zach Scowler, who'll be up in one of the races a little bit later on, they're now rocking the new Yazheat Academy colours. But on to the final lap we go. Who is going to get the win out of these three? Pick a driver, any driver, and you might still get your prediction wrong. Fracassi and Louette tangle going through into turn number 3. Danny Shields waiting to pick up the pieces. Louette and Fracassi again make a slight touch going out of turn 4 and into turn 5. Radenkovic leads. Shormans and Van der Pavert. Van der Pavert looking to possibly go for second. It might even be first if he gets that opportunity afforded to him. As they come out of turn 9 for the final time. And it is now no longer Fracassi in fourth. It's Louette, it looks like. Van der Pavert looked to go up the inside of Shormans, who shut the door. Radenkovic is going to more than likely take the win as the 296 from Bouvin Power comes out of the final corner. Van der Pavert looks to get the undercut on Shormans, and he gets through, bumps over the curbs. It's going to be a run to the line. Radenkovic takes first. Second, it's Shormans by 6/100. Louette takes fourth. Mitchell van Dijk ahead of Alberto Kiko Fracassi. Boris Maximov 7th. Danny Shields, Tom Seller and Thijs van Wijk round out the top 10. Oh my goodness me. I'm now going to have to take a breath before I go through the rest of that order. Kinnan Bartenstein, Joshua Graham, Marlon Di Salvo, Ruben Verheyen, Batuan Kumas, Archie Buttle, Krik Knoren, Christopher El Fagali, Zain El Homosani, and James Anogstiidis rounding out the top 20. Sebastian Koch, Mads Larsen, Julian Kovacevic, Jake Menton, Kalis Kirikovs, Bruno Pelle, Victor Veinen, and Jol Kaspar Joipera, Glenn Schwillens, and Hans Markus Narusk round out the 30 that finished the race. And early on in the race, we lost the following drivers: Sinje Onbol, Thomas Behrman, August Raber, Timothy Vladimirov, Josephine Wunderhoff, and Ollie Wise unable to take the start.